Because you're a Zionist. That's why.
ready to go.
So that makes you melt. Okay, yeah, that makes you pee your pants. Okay, thanks for letting me know. That's all I want to know, Habibi. Thanks, Habibi.
Oh,
all right. So much.
Cry, baby. Don't go yet. Tell us about
it.
I miss torturing you.
Mm-hmm. You gotta give him a better answer.
You miss it so much that you're the bitch that ran away and blocked me. Okay.
Rah, retard. I miss hearing you get tortured and reamed every day. It's hilarious.
Look, man.
This so much that you're the bitch that blocked me. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Slim.
Why do you not go to Albert
Breezy's road to Shahada.
Do you know how much he wants to come into Islam? He became a white lady's slave.
That's good. That he got experience. He's getting experience. You know how to ride it.
Yeah, why not? Come on, Slim.
Slim, what do you think about Afghanistan, the Taliban people?
I think they're fine people. The gentleman just said it. They've got a great education system, so yeah.
Right. So Jews are agree with Taliban.
No, I respect those people. I just don't respect bitch-ass people like Marwan. I respect you, Mel. You're a good woman. The host is a good person.
You heard this guy, Marwan.
He's trying to trigger Marwan.
I actually miss messing with it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
We're old friends.
You
miss the cipher?
If someone is trying to be...
You miss the cipher? Let me ask him. Slim, you miss the cipher?
I mean, I miss his bitch ass as much as I miss you, the people who block me, so yeah. But these other people in the space are awesome. Like, they're rad.
That's good for you. Do you miss... Have you seen Albert's show now? What do you think of the changes?
Oh.
I mean, he blocked me. He blocked me. He's a bitch. Like, I haven't been on there in months.
Let me ask you a question, though. What's the difference between Albert's space now and before? Remember when it was just, 70 of us? Now you notice he's got Sarah, right? She's like the co-host. And, the increase in numbers and the changing cast of characters. It's not the same people as before. You got an opinion about that?
No, I mean, I haven't been on there, so however that's going, that's great. I only came to confront you. Like, this wasn't about confronting Albert, or else I would have went there. I'm just messing with you, dude. You know that I'm just fucking with you.
It's fine by me.
But I keep the act going good. Did you think I was serious?
This is X. Okay.
See, you didn't even know. Yeah, you probably thought I was being serious, but no, dude, you're a good dude, man.
This is X. But let me ask you a question. Like, being serious now for a second. When we die, like, you believe that there is a creator, right?
100, dude. Oh, so you want to have a serious conversation? Yeah, like Marwan's a serious guy. Yeah, so I respect it. Let's do it.
Just it's just a casual conversation. Because when you go on Albert's space, he is a strict. What's the word?
I was telling you, honey.
He's lost, right? Because he lost his Christian faith. Because he comes from a family of
hot water.
Good clergy and all that, blah blah blah. But the majority of the Christians in Egypt, yes, are Catholics, but there are a few because of the British legacy, of course. we're all very familiar with that, right? Protestants crept in there. How? I don't want to say I have no idea, but hey, they're thinking, hey, let's be like these Brits. So, while you have people who are still Coptic, the Protestants were a little bit more well-to-do because they kind of, collaborated with the Brits, if you know what I'm saying, right? So, that is something odd. I have never, ever met an Egyptian Christian who is Protestant. So, but I did a little bit of asking around, about that. But yeah, when he found out that his theology, right, I guess for lack of a better word, and he doesn't like it when anybody says something about there being a creator and how you substantiate it, like in Islam, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala he addresses this.
He turned anti-religious, isn't it?
Yes, like if it's not even a polite disagreement.
I remember.
Yes, it's not even a polite disagreement. It's a strict, nasty. Because we do have this agreement with the Yahud and the Nasara. Yeah, right. He calls us the Abrahamics, which I'm like,
something like that. Yeah.
Right, Slim. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right.
Well, I do want to validate what you said. You were just speaking about religion one day, and like he went off on you. So yeah, and we don't even agree. But just the fact that you agreed with the creator, so I've heard it. You're right, man.
He went off on one of the nicest people on that space. Was let me look up his.
But look at how friendly you were towards him until you said I'm a believer, and then he just got mad. So it's not like he's unfriendly with you, but whenever you say that you believe in a creator, that's when he gets mad. And I have noticed it, but I'm not saying he's a bad guy.
Right. Everyone's entitled to their beliefs.
And Marwan, he blocked me.
That, but it's like
he's blocked me as well.
Yeah. He almost did that to me one time when I was starting to go off on him, and he said, I said something about there being a creator, and he was like, you can't prove a negative. Like, really? You can't prove a negative. So if you look at the creation around us, proof's everywhere. You just pick one. Pick something as simple as a fly, your eye, your fingerprints, right? Allah says in the Quran, He's able to create the fingerprints themselves, are unique for every one of us. So he doesn't even want to entertain the discussion. And you can believe what you want to believe. Who cares? You're free.
He's a bigger Jew than Slim.
I will say one thing to Marwan, like, dude, I'm not gonna say it because I'm not gonna give you shit. But like, I look at the world differently than I used to. I do look at the world differently than I used to.
Let me just, before you get on that, hold on. Why you got Bill Belichick on your?
Because I'm on to Cincinnati. The old views that I had, I don't have those anymore. I'm on to fucking Cincinnati.
What? You want to Cincinnati? Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. I get the reference.
But I have changed some of my views, and I'll leave it there.
Fair enough. Because look, at the end of the day, we're not going to be here forever, right? This whole planet. When we're gone, that's it. None of this matters anymore. None of this matters. When you're gone, that's it.
For us, Marwan.
I'm worried about it. Am I praying on time?
Have you got some sort of device that you've started the timer, the countdown timer? You've started and you're letting us know on the slide, yeah?
Well,
you're giving us a warning. What have you done?
You got these freaks who are actually thinking about this in a serious way, as if they have the keys to the kingdom. When they have, ASAP.
Look.
You know that we don't believe. Let me just make this point. You know that we don't believe that anyone has knowledge of the Day of Judgment except Allah, right? You're aware of this.
Yeah. So what do we disagree on? Like, we agree on that. Like, nobody knows the day or the time. We agree in one creator. Like, what exactly do we do? Oh, we disagree on the entity, as you call it.
No. As we're seeing in the global platform, you see what we're seeing in the globe today with all the injustice here is a consequence of not following the commands Almighty's given us, especially that have come with the final messenger for all mankind, which is even called Ahmed in the Torah Old Testament. The name Ahmed, Muhammad, peace be upon him. These strict laws are for all mankind to obey so that we get along in peace. Otherwise, once the laws start to get broken, then mayhem ensues. You have to understand the problem and pinpoint it. Otherwise, we're just going to revolve round and round and round. ain't got time for that. Really and truly.
I respect that, man.
Now, for the millions of dollars and pounds and whatever they've spent on the ICC and ICJ, which is a Western format, I suggest they start following it, because they've given some rulings, and we should all pay attention to them to create sort of, format, so at least people get back to talking to each other in a decent fashion. You know what I mean?
Anyway, assalamu alaikum, Islam Pal. Hope you're good, bro. I checked that video. This guy is a nobody. The guy who the host doesn't even reference him, like give a background context of who this guy is. He's just a nobody, to be honest. From my view, I didn't see. To be honest, I even looked at the link at the video to see if there's a link of who this guy is, but go ahead, sister. If you know anything, tell me.
No, they're just random flipping people that are probably just sent there, aren't they? Like most people in Speaker's Corner, just provocateurs looking for reaction.
He mentioned he's in Kabul in a restaurant somewhere.
No, he's not. He's in Luton.
Okay.
Yeah, these are people like you said. They're just off the boat people. They just come here. Yeah, I don't think it's so serious. It's just how many views as well. Bird Prop knows more.
He's got about 5k views, but he's got 13 likes, which shows that no one's interested.
No one's interested, yeah. No, I just randomly made a video because I was thinking other people say it as well about education. But I said, look, highlight your own. Your teachers in the school are sleeping with the boys and girls at school. Teacher got pregnant with an 11-year-old. In America.
I'm gonna send you a video, sis. I posted it on my page. I'm gonna have to look for it. I'm gonna send you. It's from last year.
Yeah.
As a journalist, not journalist, a YouTuber, a sister from Afghanistan. She's a YouTuber. She stops random sisters on the road in Kabul and asks them about education.
Yeah.
And so one of the sisters, two of them speak very fluent English.
Good.
So they give their own personal view from Afghanistan, and I'm gonna share that video with you.
I think I've seen it already. She's got a niqab on, isn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to explain to me. I'm already knowledgeable in this. I just like exposing the liars, with their own things that they get up to. Yeah, so many pedophiles.
I mean, to be honest, I saw a video from the Education Ministry in Afghanistan regarding this. Was in the beginning when they first banned schools, grade 6 to 12. What happened is that they were offered. I can't remember the name of the organizations that were funding the education previously. I know that there was some governmental organization in the UK which was funding from the US and also UNESCO, I think. So there was few organizations which was funding the education previously. What happened is they offered to continue funding during the Islamic Emirates as well. But the issue the Islamic Emirates is having, or shall I say the Taliban, that with those funding comes conditions. And that's where the disagreements come in. They don't mind getting funded if they want to sincerely fund. The problem is that the books which gets printed, the system of the education, how they should be taught, what they should be taught, that comes with the funding. It's a condition, and that's where the Islamic Emirates said, look, we don't want those conditions. We have our own system of education. We have our own way. So it's not even the funding issue. It's just that with those funding comes condition, and the conditions are not acceptable.
But yeah, you can just look at next door, like when our mothers came first to like England and places like that. They weren't educated, but they had like Iman, and then the communities got built, like Bangladeshi communities got built because we were connected with our religion. Now, if you look at it, fast forward like 40 years, 50 years, people are going into these educations, going into universities, and I always used to ask the doctors, lawyers, why they're not speaking up against Islamophobia what's happening in Afghanistan, Syria. You know, I used to on my channel, and so many of them started attacking me on my account on here like many years ago over feminism. I said, okay, so if that's your bloody idol, then you can go F yourselves, isn't it? But oh yeah, she's always being great. You know that time, but when I was having a back and forth with, I was saying Team Pakistan and Team Bangladesh, and there's nothing to do with nationalism. I said, listen, if they're calling Pakistani groomers, we're learning, innit? To me, I had to learn everything. So where they're saying Pakistanis are groomers, I'm saying, look, you can't say all Pakistanis are groomers because then you're including my family as well. So they're trying to educate. And I said, if you're going to try and attack the entire country, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Because there's so many Muslims living there. And I said, safety. We want safety for all Muslim lands. Yeah, these people are going, oh, she's getting...
Wait.
She's
now
getting race nationalism. Yeah? It's nothing to do with nationalism.
Now you find out that 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all these people like the president of the United States, most powerful person on the planet, celebrities, Bill Cosby, all the wait a minute, all the role models are like sexual perverts that were shown to us.
That's that, America's dad.
Follow us.
You're talking
wait
about.
A minute. So we get trained. Wait a minute. So I'm getting trained to be a groomer by these influential people that are groomers, and now the stories come out. Oh, we used to grab their asses. Oh, I used to grab that bleep. You can't even say the word, you know, the private part, like Trump was saying. Yeah, we used to grab their bleep. You can't say arses because he's now gone and actually talking about the private parts. So these are the mother people that have been shown to be our people, peers and stuff to follow and every other fucking thing. And then now today, they're flipping it on us and saying, wait a minute, why are you following these fucking Bill Cosby for? If Bill Cosby's doing
why are you following our forefathers?
Why are you following, what was P. Diddy in the 90s? Why was you following him? Oh, he's in rape charges. So how do you blame the public when it's the leaders that are fucking culpable have to be brought down in a sense of fucking remove that shit out of the way, man. Put some decent leaders in there, innit?
Well, I mean, I want to answer to that. I just want to answer because you brought up Bill Cosby. Like, I don't. Whatever he was doing in his sex life, he actually did.
What they're doing was a norm. Back in them days, it was a norm and that.
But it was wrong.
The amount of drugs people were doing, the women were only there because they were getting free drugs, tons of cocaine or whatever, and they're happy for that. They wanted all that to happen.
But isn't the main point that we should just move on from that? Like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but yeah, it happened. I believe that Bill Cosby also had a lot of good things that he preached and that he taught. And then we can also condemn him for sleeping with women and ban it today. Like, you shouldn't be drugging women at all. So, like, yeah, I believe that there is a middle ground. We can look at the good things that he did and also the bad things that they did from that period and not repeat them.
Well, the thing is, if you don't remove the very thing that got him started, which is the people above him that gave him the green light, they're still in place today. So nothing's moving on until you do something about the old type of World War II type of cronies that see things in a colonialist mindset.
Most of these people are dead. Do you think that you could be a star today and get away with drugging women to the extent that he did in the 70s? Probably not. A lot of these people who allowed that are dead.
Listen, man, what these people do, they create wars in different regions on the earth, There's one even in Ukraine now, and that leaves a surplus of women and children which are vulnerable. And that's how they do it. They wouldn't give a shit about anything else doing it in the street. They're doing it regardless of us. And how they do it is by creating wars and these situations where you get families ripped apart, women left, right, and center, vulnerable, children vulnerable. That's the way they like it. It's the only reason they've done it.
I can't argue against that because I thought about it the other day. There are like over 1 million prime age young males who are dead with that Ukraine and Russia war. And that was like, yeah, that's shocking, dude. So who's going to fill that void? Yeah, that's scary. If they fill that void with a bunch of perverts and a bunch of messed up stuff, I don't know what the future is going to look like.
You see in Ukrainian streets vans pulling up and people screaming their heads off, being dragged off into the van for conscription to join the army and that year. That's young people, families being ripped apart. All these situations going on. And the main one thing you got to understand sometimes is the leaders represent the people, just as democracy says here. Democratic way, the people's vote, and the leaders you get are who you vote for. And now they're trying to separate. So the whole system, think of it from a normal alien lands on Earth, and it'll tell you. Imagine an alien lands tomorrow on Earth, and he says, "Hey, guys, your system's broken," and explains to us why everything. Oh, there's a rule of law that you're supposed to follow, and if that rule of law breaks, then there's mayhem, and you're going to be seeing even if it's not to your own people, which it is. Let's not forget what's happening in America with the drug influx that they allow to happen. It's all allowed to happen, and people are suffering and dying miserable deaths. Even in America. So we got to take this thing by take it by the horns and wrestle with it.
How do you think we do that?
Don't forget what Zelensky's on as well. He's on that. Remember that dance he did? He's on that other side of the ocean, isn't he? So to speak. So to get rid of all the healthy males, it just gives him more, like you said, the orphans. What the Zionists do to the orphans in Palestine becomes a revenue for the pedophiles, don't it? In power. That's what Zelensky's on. Remember his dancing in heels.
Do we just run for office? Like, would that be the way to offset this course?
No.
Should we just run?
It doesn't. No. Because you're going to be entering their game, their ball game. What you need to do is read the Quran, basically. You find out, reintroduce yourself to normality, laws.
Like, the structures that are in place already for the very reason you're asking. This ICJ and ICC, these are the higher courts of this entire globe. They've already made their rulings. You have to enforce that, I'm afraid. Now, on top of that, there is the spiritual enlightenment which is provable by the system that it did create, and this capitalism tries to imitate it. But this capitalism spreading to other regions in the earth, it's gonna destroy them regions, their natural habitat, the cultures, the people, which Islam never really did. You have to understand that. The spread of Islam, cultures and peoples, and that never really did sort of, the same people rule the same region Islam spread into, basically. It's the natives. After all, Islam is attaining the peace, through the obedience of the instruction. That's all Islam is. Islam, as this you may have heard people say, it means peace. What they should have added to it is, the way to the peace is the instruction that leads to the peace, that if mankind basically adheres or tries to adhere to, it will be successful. That's the proof in the pudding. But at the moment, you got your system.
We hear and we obey.
Well, the proof is in, if you go back to even Palestine, when the Christian, Jews, Muslims were living in peace, was under that Islamic system. That was, people weren't at each other's throats, killing each other. You know what I mean? It was under the Islamic system. So
Umar ibn al-Khattab brought them back. Umar ibn al-Khattab brought them back.
Yes.
Brought them back.
Brought the Israelite, the Jews back. So they get their place of worship is there. They can come and do their rituals that they do. That's what it is.
Well, no, you need to go more in depth about that because I need to know that history before I ever think about moving to the region. Because actually, I have humbled myself. Man, I was just talking to my dad today. I'm not going to get into it, and I don't want to get emotional, but I've really changed my way of thinking. I'm like, man, you've got people who don't even know Arabic. And I'm like, shouldn't we at least like learn some Arabic before we even try to move there to be able to talk to the local people? And my dad, because he's lived in Egypt before, was like, yeah. He was like, the Zionists are like really missing the point here. Like, you at least have to be able to somewhat relate to the people who already live there. And I don't want to admit that I'm coming to this realization.
You got to remember that there are lots of Yahud in the region already. They all mixed in to these countries, and they were there for a long, long, long time. In Egypt, in Morocco, in Yemen, right, throughout. Iraq, huge numbers in Iraq. I remember one time I went to a doctor's appointment, and the doctor was, his name was Cohen, speaking to me in Arabic the whole time. You know,
so Marwan, I forgot you're from Egypt, yeah?
Yeah, I grew up in America, but been around.
Originally Egypt,
right?
And
don't dox me now. Don't dox me. Don't dox me.
Breezy is Egyptian too, yeah?
No, not
Nigeria,
like
homie.
Yeah, like I've got my dad's from Nigeria, but he lived in Egypt, and I also have Egyptian ancestry and Jewish ancestry, and I converted to Judaism. But the more that I look into it, I feel like because I'm not Ashkenazi, I'm like, man, shouldn't we at least be able to communicate with the people in the region and like know their history? And we can't just go over here with like a European type accent or like an American type way of thinking. Maybe we should look at doing something different. And it just bothers me when I talk to Israelis that they think that the status quo is like acceptable. Since I haven't been on Albert Space, I've just gone into a lot of Israeli spaces, and they kicked me out, Marwan. They're like, get the fuck out of here. They're like, are you left wing now? Like, I get kicked out of the spaces just for asking, like,
we told you so. We told you so. Unlike them, we got no problem with black folks. They're fine, human beings. Nobody's better than anybody.
I mentioned basic things. I'm like, shouldn't we like have a different plan from the status quo? And they're like, you're turning, aren't you? They're like, well, you're one of them. You're an anti-Semite. And I get what you said now when you mentioned Simone Zimmerman months ago. I looked more into her film and like even Israelism. And dude, I'm like, no, there are a lot of other Jews who feel really uncomfortable with the way that Israel operates, and I didn't get it at the time, and I'm sorry for fighting you every day like that.
Whatever, dude. I'm from New York. We laugh at that shit anyway. We're all laughing and having fun at. But you know what? The thing I gotta give you about that is that it's hard when you are in a group, right? This goes for any of us, right? It's hard when you're in a group and then you realize that there's something you're not comfortable with, but I still have to defend the group. And it shouldn't be that way, right? Like if I have a family member that did something wrong, I can't protect them. Look, you're gonna. This is the Islamic principle too. You are gonna have to pay the piper. You're gonna have to face whatever it is, face the music, so to speak. Even though you can't face the music, it's the station, but neither here nor there. Mixing of the senses, but yeah, when she came to that realization, and I'll link that video for anyone that wants to see it. When she came to that realization, man, she was going against her own community. She said things that about Netanyahu, and she was working, directly with the people. This was not someone who was No, this was someone who was really getting involved with stuff. And unlike Bernie Sanders, who is from Brooklyn originally, which so many are, but he's a senator for Vermont or New Hampshire or something. And I always laugh at it. I was like, yeah, sure, you don't sound like it, but you know, and they gatekeep for the, you know, for the, you know, the Zionist settler colony. Meanwhile, she's like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going against everything I know, and it's hard. She talks about it. It's so hard. And I've met Jewish people over the years. There's a man named David Siegel, Tim, in New Jersey. He was a musician, and he was talking about it, and he's like, you know what? I found out about this thing that's going on, that they're selling land in our synagogue, and like no one would have known. You know, people know, but not many tell. But he came up and he said it at a town hall meeting. He's like, yeah, this is going on, and guess what? I'm going to go lead the charge. He's going against his own community. He's going against it. Hey, Bert, tell him about the story of the people who accepted Islam originally, who were waiting for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who were in Medina, who were in Yathrib, the old name for it, right? The original name, actually. And then they, Bert, are you there? Hello, Bert? What happened?
Dude, I know that he's not there, but, well, if he is there, yeah, I'm sorry. Are you there, Bert?
He's probably got to make another cup of tea. Yeah, I heard that
story. Yeah, Marwan, everything that you're saying, like, I'm just saying, like, mainstream things, like, the status quo can't continue, and they're like, oh, you know, have you turned? They're like, are you even really Jewish now? And I'm like, dude, this is the same thing. I'm like, dude, I went through a conversion, and when I was a child, like, I've been living a Jewish life for years. I already went through it. I could make Aliyah, but I don't want to. And Shabbat's about to come in. I even know the amount of time and how much time I have left to be on this space. And the only thing that bothers me, dude, is it's like they only say that because they want to continue the status quo, and it's not sustainable. Like, it's not right. Like, even with the bill, so I had this conversation. Here's what I wanted to tell you, Marwan. I was trying to remember. I had a conversation with the guy the other day, and I was like, man, well, could Jews live in Syria? And he was like, Shimon, the only reason why they were protesting is because of the bill that was just passed where Palestinians can get killed if they kill an Israeli, but there is no death penalty for Jews who kill a Palestinian. And I was like, man, I didn't look at it that way. That's why they were protesting. But the way that it's been portrayed in Jewish circles is, see, they're supporting Hamas. We can never live there in Syria. So there's a disconnect.
Do you know how long the Jewish presence, pardon me, in the Arab world is? It goes way back.
Thousands of years. Thousands of
years. Way back. They were better there.
I know. Some of my ancestors were Toshavim, man, in Morocco, like I already know. Back when even going back to when the Carthaginians were there and the Phoenicians came, there was peace. There was no fighting between Jews and the other people there.
They were better off there than they were anywhere else.
So, can I just... I apologize, Marvin. Yeah, can I ask a question quickly?
No, take it back.
Yeah. Are you a Jew or a Zionist? Or are you...
I'm a Jew. I would have considered myself a Zionist a while ago, but I don't know what these people want as an end game, because when I talk to Israelis, they believe that the status quo is going to be able to go on forever. And even Marwan knows that even when I was extreme, I was at least saying, well, do something different, and I don't want to kill anyone. If you got to remove people, then do that. But I don't believe that you need to literally kill everybody. But the more that I talk to Israelis, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, are you aware of the difference between a Zionist and I'm sorry, I know that's your religion, but I heard that you converted or revert, as you mentioned. Are you aware of the difference between a Zionist and a Jew?
I know that even atheists can be Zionists, so no, like, I believe in one creator. I believe that you've got to treat people the right way. I don't agree with what, like, secular Zionists are doing, or even people who pretend to be religious, but then they're passing laws like, well, if these people murder someone, they can get the death penalty. But God said anyone who murders a man should get the death penalty, and you're not holding these other people to the same standard.
Yeah, but you should reject. Yeah, that Zionist methodology is rejected by you then.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so I just want to mention one thing. Sorry. Obviously, genuinely speaking, people do claim to be atheist Zionist, or you know, there are different type of Zionists, secular Zionists, this and that. But the word origin of Zion itself has a religious meaning behind it. So obviously, the Orthodox Jews, they believe, they have the same ideology, believing in the Messiah and the temple, but they believe that when the Messiah comes, everything will happen. Like the promised land will be theirs and the temple will be rebuilt, and that the Zionist movement, which mainly kind of became famous around the 1800s, they believe in acting upon it.
Their slaves.
Yeah, so they obviously it's deeper than that. I don't, you know, I don't want to get you guys confused. I'm just trying to make the point that the Zionists believe in actually working towards the temple, towards bringing the Messiah, even if they have to use force because of certain beliefs that they have. As for the Orthodox Jews, they don't believe in forcing the Holy Land or forcing the rebuild of the temple. They believe that when the Messiah comes, which has been promised to them, then the Holy Land will be theirs. And so there is that main difference. But obviously, the word Israel itself, you know, considering a Jew and an Israelite are two different things, because a Jew religiously is a religious context, Yahud, for example, in the Arabic context. But Israel is not necessarily the name of the land. Rather, it was the name of their forefather, which was Jacob. Israelite, you know, Bani Israel, or the children of Israel, which was Prophet Jacob. So in that context, not every Jew is necessarily an Israelite, because they could make that claim, like majority of this so-called Jews live in, yeah, majority of them living in there. Sorry, go ahead. So what was that?
Non-Semitic, like
non-Semitic, yeah. So
they have no lineage to the Israelite
exactly.
tribe.
But the best way I can put it is they're not descendants of Jacob. They're not this blood related to Jacob. So they claim to be Israeli. Like I've spoken to many Zionists, or even people who are not Zionists. They claim to be a Jew, and then when I have a deep conversation with them, then you know we come to a point. Okay, your great grandfather or your great grandparents were Europeans. You actually have no blood connection to Israelites. So to make the claim that you're an Israelite, it contradicts. Same as, you know, anyone claiming to be a Zionist and an atheist, it contradicts, because the word Zion itself, you know, the hill of Zion, which was the first temple of David, was built upon it. So Zionist genuinely means the people who believe in the promised land, as in the land, the hill of Zion, where the temple of David was built. So it has the name itself has a religious context. So that's where I get confused with a lot of people, because I don't think majority of them even understand themselves what they're following. Sorry, I go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, I disagree with this because I have looked into the genetic research, because I also had to even look into my own family line. And what I learned is based off of genetics alone, most of us, including me, and I can post my results, do have Bronze Age Levantine ancestry. Now, obviously, it's less for me because my family ended up in the Caribbean, and that's where my Jewish ancestry comes from. And like I said before that, they were Dutch people. But even when I look at my family ancestry, it says no. During the Bronze Age, you definitely had ancestry towards here. Then I see during the Iron Age, when they said that Jews ended up in Morocco, which is why I agreed with a lot of what Marwan said. It says, no, you've got Mihrabi ancestry. And that's why I even match with people with the last name Eichich. And I learned that that's an Amaziach name. I was like, wait a minute, so my family really did follow this path. Now, I agree, that doesn't give us a right 2,500 years later to brutalize the people who already lived there.
No, sorry,
but I think that it's crazy to say that we have no ancestry.
No, I think you misunderstood. I wasn't talking about yourself. I wasn't talking because I don't know nothing about you. I was saying majority of Jews or Israelites or Zionists that I've spoken to, when I talk to those people, not yourself, because I don't know nothing about you, of course. I was referring to people I have been speaking to in the past, and most of them are actually European Jews from Poland, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands. You know, these were revert or convert Jews, which later on around 1400, 1100s all the way to 15 to 1600s converted because of the influence of Jews in Europe at the time. So I wasn't referring to you. And the founders of Israel, they were European Jews from Poland, and majority of them don't have ancestry connection to the Israelites. So I will, and it's a different story when we refer to people in Middle East and Africa, and that because that's completely different. I was talking about European Jews.
Well, no, but I just want to finish for a second. When they take DNA tests, it does show up that they have Levantine ancestry as well. I've seen Ashkenazi Jews post their results in like illustrative DNA. If you've ever heard of that, even Google it. Just be like Ashkenazi Jew DNA results, illustrative DNA Reddit. Repeatedly, it shows that Bronze Age Canaanite. It's not at the same level that it is for Palestinians. They do have a higher level, but it shows up during the Bronze Age. Oh yeah, 36% of your ancestry was from here during the Iron Age. Oh yeah, you've got 40% Phoenician. And these are people who like even if you look at Simone Zimmerman, you can tell that she has Italian ancestry. It's like, why would someone who is Polish ancestry look that dark? No, they've got like half of their DNA is Southern, like Italian, and the other half of it really is Levantine. Like I've just done the research on this, and it's true. Now you can still be against Zionism. You can say, well, yeah, just because you have ancestry to this region doesn't grant you the right to do whatever you want to do or even live here because your family was in Poland. But they do have deep ancestry that does go back to the Levant because I've done the research on this. And even look at them. They even look. I think they don't look like Polish people.
Yeah, no, there's few things I think. So first of all, I'm not sure who you're referring to. Like I mentioned, I have spoken to people and we've come to a conclusion. They've even admitted it. But obviously, of course, you must know people, different people that are. But what you need to understand one more thing. If you go to match your bloodline and ancestry to certain parts of the Middle East, and it does not. I was talking about Israelite, the descendant of Jacob, the bloodline. So not necessarily. Oh, when the Jews moved to Babylon, when they were around the Sham, as we know, Egypt, Syria, all these parts. Not necessarily every person that converted was Israelite. I think you misunderstood the context. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Ashkenazia.
Yeah, no, I didn't say every Jew. I said especially the founders.
Ukraine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Ukrainian Israelis as well. You know, that used to be old Ashkenazi. They changed it to Ukraine, then whatever the name is now. So yeah, you got the. But overall, now what to me, man, what the gentleman here is saying is quite interesting because you got these Zionists that going crazy, making wars, making crazy mayhem to usher in the Messiah. And then you got, in Iran, you got the same sect, you know, Rafida Shia, that they have the same belief that they have to do a crazy madness to usher in the Mahdi that they're waiting for. And we believe that you shouldn't be doing madness. You should uphold the law. The law is very important, and in Arabic, the name is Sharia. Law. It's a law. It just means law.
Yeah, I just want to say that's what Maimonides said, and I know that he lived in Arab lands like Egypt, but when he was writing the Mishnah Torah, he was like, you should not try to predict when the Messiah is going to be here. Just live your best life and follow God on a day-to-day basis, and do not try to predict this.
That's correct. That's correct. And overall, the warning still stands, isn't it? There's a hellfire awaiting or there's a paradise awaiting. This is overall the problem. What it is here, those who disobey, their chastisement is painful. You know, that's the problem, the overall bigger problem, more larger than this world that is bound to over a certain period of time. The earth ceases to exist, the sun ceases to exist. You know, these are temporal. This is a temporal world that we're dealing with right now. But the deeper message we're getting from the God, the one and only Lord of the world, is there's a route to get to the paradise where you need to get to, because you don't want to get to the other place, which is a lot of pain and suffering. You know.
Yeah. Also, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came to confirm the lineage of all of us as well. Like how you're explaining that, you think you're connected to that land somehow, somewhere. Obviously, we're all going to be connected somehow because we're all from a pair, Adam alayhi Islam and Hawa alayhi Islam. But like the narratives we have, like hearing the hadiths of how our prophet lived and the message and what he said, we have have it documented, who said it, who he's related to, and then we see how reliable they are as well. Were they liars, or were they telling the truth with good character? And then they check even their family, right? Okay. So this is what Islam is. What Islam is basically. It will concrete.
Lesson, yeah, your belief. Lesson that came, the final messenger, Muhammad, peace be upon him, he came, and the Israelites that lived amongst and around there, the majority, a vast majority of them, became Muslim and believed in the final messenger, the awaited one. So you got to realize that too. You know what I mean? That Mr. Sim Breezy, that even though you claim, yeah, this lineage of, Israelite or Jewish or whatever, the highest level of scholars that existed at that time in Arabia and that region, they came and gave the Shahada at the hands of the Prophet Muhammad and became companions of the Prophet, Sahaba, who called them. May Allah's peace, mercy, blessed be upon them. Allah be pleased with them. So you got to remember that as well in history, that a lot of the Israelites now, from 1400 years ago, they're Muslims, and that is a lot of North Africa as well. A lot of them are Israelite. They still are Israelite. They can't change their hereditary genetics coming from Yaqub al-Islam, the Prophet Israel, peace be upon him. You can't change. And the Quran being the final testament, Almighty calls us as in all children of Adam, so that we all different tribes, all different humans come together in them terms that, we are all actually children of Adam, just like Halima just said, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I respect it. Like, I'm not saying that those people weren't there, but even when you mention people from Ukraine, it still shows up that during the Bronze Age, hey, you're a Ukrainian Jew, but 2,000 years ago, you did have ancestors who at least lived in the Levant. What I would actually argue is that it's impossible for us to know, and I'm admitting this with my own lineage. All that I know is that I'm related to Moroccan Jews during the Bronze Age. I don't know if they converted or were literally at Sinai. I'm not making that argument, but I'm just. But I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone can prove. Oh yeah, my ancestors were literally at Sinai.
We're not gonna. There's no point. I'm not gonna dispute it. I don't think anyone's gonna dispute it. But underlying the main message we're given is that none of our lineage really accounts for anything in the sight of Almighty anymore. It is only in your deeds of good deeds now that is going to serve you, and the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one creator.
So again, we agree.
Yeah, no, we just made a full circle there, but when they were in the Sinai, the Sheikh Ahmadi that was saying that there used to be laws. this all comes down to obeying Allah, obeying Rasul Sallallahu, and the laws.
Yeah.
So, but because you guys didn't preserve your way of life, you're just talking about like, oh, you're connected to Jerusalem and Palestine.
Okay, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, carry on.
I think that's it. Yeah, it's basically they let go of their religion. This lineage thing that we're talking about, this topic, is such an important one, because if you're applying, like, women can sleep around and have X amount of children from different fathers, you're destroying that lineage, aren't you? And Slim, you're Nigerian, and we know how many Muslims are there, and they have influenced your mother's culture and your parents' culture about sticking to each other, right, as a couple.
I don't think that they've influenced my mom's culture, since my mom's like an American, like Caribbean person. But yeah, definitely with my dad's culture, they influenced him a lot. But that's not where my Jewish ancestry comes from. Like I said, it comes from the Mihrab, and then it went into the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And you can look up these communities in South America. That's where my community came from. And you've got a ton of people with like Spanish and Dutch descent who are actually Sephardic. If you look at a lot of Latinos in South America, they have Sephardic Jewish ancestry, and they were forced to convert to Catholicism. That happened. The Inquisition did happen.
Let's get it like this. Yeah. So you can take your lineage from your mother's side, right?
Yeah. And I can go back on my dad's side as well, like if you want me to. But yeah, I know my ancestry because I'm not like an African American. A lot of them don't know where they came from.
Okay, so let's look at it another way, yeah. In a sense of the way the God, the Creator, dictates it, yeah. Yeah, your mother's your mother, but the actual lineage comes from the father.
In Judaism, it's matrilineal, and there are several texts in the Torah that confirm that.
That'll be man-made, isn't it? But as far as the Creator is concerned, is in general the lineage that you're gonna say all the way back to Adam will be from male to male to male to male to male to male to male, all the way to Adam.
Yeah, that works. You can say this son's beget that son. Yeah.
So this initiation of the lineage coming from the mother, you have to find out where that corruption crept in, because this is not our prerogative. That's going to be on you. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, exactly. And I believe that was from the time that the Torah was passed down at Sinai. But if you believe that the Torah that we're reading is corrupted, you're obviously not going to agree with that. So I respect that. You don't agree with what our Torah says.
No.
We agree that your tribal affiliation came from your dad, though, yeah. Which tribe you were from, it came from your father, yeah.
The reason some of the Israelites or the Jews or the Yahud, why they changed it is because there's a reason for it. And the reason is that, if you're saying we're Israelite and the name Israelite comes from Prophet Jacob, like Brother Tamim said a moment ago, that Prophet Jacob, Yaqub alayhi salam, peace be upon him, Jacob, peace upon him, aka nicknamed Israel as other name. That's a man, and that it's not a woman. So any lineage claimed to this thing which is hardened, which is basically they're trying to govern it with religion. Otherwise, they're on a fake religion. That's all I'm saying. If they don't take it from the father's side.
That's where you got your tribal affiliation from. But we've got texts like in Leviticus. There's a young man who like blasphemies the name of God. And then it's like, well, he had an Egyptian father, but it still recognizes that his mom was an Israelite. But then when you look at Ezra, I believe 10:3, because they had children with foreign women. They said no, those children take the lineage of the mother because they were Gentile women, and you've got to get rid of them. In Ezra 10:3. So the way that we read it is different, but if you don't accept those texts, we're going to look at it differently. So I respect where you're coming from. I don't believe that it changed. I believe that it was always that way from Sinai, but okay.
No. The texts are valid because they were for a time period and a specific people. They're not a text like the Quran, the final text for you and me, that it includes both of us. This is the difference between the Quran and the previous texts. The final one, which Quran translates to, I think in English, the criterion, Furqan criterion or something. So the thing is, look.
Yeah, that's one of the names, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, Marwan knows that. I'll let you step in a second, Marwan.
No, you're right. No, but the word Quran linguistically just means, it means recitation. But yet another name for the Quran is Furqan.
Yeah. Hey, I don't want you guys to think that I'm running, by the way, but like the Shabbat comes in at 8:06 and it's like 8:02 here, so I've got to get off. But honestly, it was better talking to you guys than like the Zionists. Like we could at least have an honest conversation and at least get into the religion. A lot of these people are atheists. They don't even believe in God, and it bothers me. And I'm probably done going on their spaces, man, but it was good talking to you guys.
For us, yeah, look, Breezy, for us, yeah, Almighty has guaranteed us that if we keep speaking the truth, we're going to get vastly rewarded for it. So there's a pain and a punishment, like I said to you, we believe in that. So that is governing between us and the liars, is that our belief that we will be 100% held account for these interactions we have with people. Almighty has warned us. So we take it seriously. That's the difference between real Muslims and the believers and just fake people who haven't got any core. They worry about any law. They're frivolous with their language. You work it out. You're intelligent guy.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. Shabbat shalom.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Come on anytime you want.
I recorded 57 minutes of that. You can listen back.
That's funny.
I'm gonna stop it now.